We are back.
Yes, boys. Welcome back to the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast. Why does it feel like a while since I've said that? It's only been a week.
We definitely did it last Tuesday, didn't we?
Yeah, we're back for a part 2 of S tier to D tier, rating the best to worst exercise for insert muscle group.
What did we do last week?
Yeah, we've not actually decided what muscle group we're going to do. Last week we did chest and back.
So we'll do like legs today, and then
That's kind of boring, man.
arms. We can do arms.
Yeah.
And we'll just have like a chit chat about something.
Limbs. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing
Absolute
limbs.
So let's kick it off. S tier to D tier. Legs. Are we going to split this into quads and hamstrings, or?
Now let's just go leg movements as a whole.
Okay.
This will be good as well because we both hate training legs. So
It's literally the worst thing ever.
everything's going to be in the D. The D tier.
Yeah, it's off the scale. Do you want to start with the exercise, or?
I'll let you go first.
All right, rating the best to worst leg exercise. Leg extension.
D.
Z.
Yeah, off the scale, mate. Right, I just really hate leg extensions. They either hurt my knees or they hurt my quads that much that I just hate them. They're boring.
Yeah, are you going to say that about every leg exercise?
Yeah, this is what I mean.
You almost got to take the enjoyment factor out of it. I mean, is there?
No, we have got to take it into consideration.
Yeah, it will be in
But
consideration.
I will actually think like optimally as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a very optimal exercise. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a good exercise that almost everyone should have in the program.
Yeah. Your leg session should have
Yeah.
a leg extension.
If we're talking like optimal bro, the what's it called? Rectus femoris is the top of your quad muscle. Crosses your hip joint as well. So to get that fully contracted, you might want to do a leg extension.
Indeed.
Maybe. And also, I believe it's your vastus medialis, which is this little thing here. Only gets mostly activated in that sort of top 15% of knee extension, which you only get from a leg extension. So if you're not doing it, then you are probably missing out on something.
Missing out on a lot, yeah.
So it's got to be in. Enjoyment-wise...
For me, enjoyment-wise, in terms of all leg exercises, it's the bottom. Like, it's the one I hate the most by far.
It doesn't excite you because there's no, like, chasing numbers on it.
No.
Like, you're not like, I can't wait to hit a
No.
200-pound leg extension. Like, no one says that. So it's pretty low on that front.
And it does just really hurt.
Yeah, don't you think? It's kind of like the bicep curl of legs. Like, even though you just work in one muscle group, it feels like it's working your whole body.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
So, optimal-wise, it's like up there, but enjoyment's
It's probably
pretty
like
poo.
an S, I think, for optimality.
Yeah, if you want to grow your quads, like, get strong at leg extension, they'll grow.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to put it as a B.
I think it's got to go B or A.
Like, it's top of the scale for optimal, but bottom of the scale for enjoyment. So, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, let's go B.
Okay, B.
Okay. I'll go with...
Feels so weird drinking water on the pod.
Yeah, it needs to be a monitor coffee. I've already had 2 monsters today. Yeah, I had one in the car with you on the way to the gym, and one on the way back from the gym.
Ideal.
Let's go with... I'm going to be a little bit specific here.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Cybex pivot leg press.
Okay.
Because it might be
good.
able to have a conversation about it.
Yeah. For people that don't use Cybex, it's similar. You might have used like a Techno Gym one. I think they've got one. It's got like a really big plate underneath.
Yeah.
And then it's a pivot style leg press as opposed to a 45 degree.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those... It's a machine, especially the Cybex one, that probably does suit people with shorter femurs.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's obviously, in the hole, it is pretty aggressively light if you go really deep. But at the same time, that's a good thing because it means you can go really deep without absolutely spanking up your knees.
Yeah, like I can get so much knee flexion on there and it not hurt my knees.
Yeah, but if you're getting that deep on something that was heavy in the hole, you'd probably
like the hammer strength leg press, that just ruins me.
Yeah, and your hips. Like if
oh god, my hips on that. Yeah.
Whenever we've run like months on that and actually got strong, eventually you start going, something feels a bit roguey.
Feel like ropey.
But for me, I think because my legs are so long, the top of it is like so outrageously heavy.
Yeah. It is heavy anyway, like that mid range, isn't it? It's like a proper stick. Yeah. It's like light. Yeah. Sticky, and then it's sort of...
It's because of that pivot, isn't it? When it gets to there, it's just so heavy.
So heavy, yeah.
So for me, like, I'm almost too tall for it.
Yeah.
And also, right at the top, like, the weight is literally hitting the back of my legs. Yeah. So for me, it's not my favourite, but, like, I'll happily run it.
Yeah. I think it's probably still, even for you, probably one of the better options.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably my
second
option for out of the ones that we've got a choice of anyway.
Yeah.
And it's also the only like pivot style leg press I like. Yeah. Like, you know, the I can't remember is it Jim Lecco one? The one that's like here and you press outwards.
It's like a hip press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of the hip presses, but that's a similar like swingy style, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of people really like
the
hip presses, you know, it's like actually horizontal.
Yeah.
People really like them, but it just ruins my hip.
Yeah,
it literally is a hip press.
Yeah,
I'm not getting anything.
All bone.
Yeah, it just hurts.
Yeah. And we used to use one in PGC, didn't we? Or that sort of style, once, like a swingy.
I think hammer strength have a popular one, don't they?
Yeah.
It's in a lot of gyms.
Yeah. But generally I'm not a fan. So Cybex pivot leg press.
We're going to have to agree here. For me, I would honestly put it like A, because I wouldn't say it's enjoyable again, because I just don't like anything legs. But out of all the leg presses I've done, in terms of like the amount of stimulus I feel like I can get from it, without it like absolutely ruining me, it's very, very good.
I think if you generalize leg press as a whole, they're going to be the best / most efficient movement to grow your legs above squats. Any kind.
Yeah.
Because you're basically taking away your whole upper body.
Yeah, you're a lot more locked in. It's just...
Yeah, I think it's like, especially, unless you're really, really good at squats, like a hack squat or a Smith or whatever, I think you're going to get more out of a leg press.
Option,
I think it's got to be up there for that. I don't know what I'd put above it for a leg exercise as a leg press. Like, what would you put above a leg press?
In terms of like overall leg growth and development, nothing.
Yeah.
It's probably got to go S.
And the Cybex is your favourite, and it's one of my favourites, so
probably gonna have to go S.
I don't know if there's another option.
Yeah, let's go S.
Okay. S tier Cybex leg press, that's so niche.
There is something that I do enjoy more, but in terms of overall leg development, it's not going to be as good.
Okay, we'll wait for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Rating the best leg exercises, S to D tier. Let's go with a Romanian deadlift, aka glute day for you.
Yeah.
This is obviously hammy glute as opposed to quad, which we were just kind of going with the quad and with the leg extension and leg press, but we move.
Oh, I actually don't know.
It's a toughie, isn't it? Because
it is probably going to be very, very good. If you can really make it a hammy and glute bias, it's going to be very, very good.
Do you know what's weird about this, though, right? I reckon if I'd have spent the last 4 years doing... It's basically been a block pull or an RDL.
Yeah.
If I'd have spent those 4 years actually trying to get hamstring out of it, would I have grown bigger hamstrings? Maybe. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
I think personally, if I'd have done an RDL and like really been strict with it, I'm probably on like 40, 50 kilos lighter than what I do now.
Yeah.
I think I probably would have got better hamstrings.
More hamstring,
yeah. I actually do.
But on the other side of it, we obviously put this on back the other week, didn't we?
We have, yeah.
But like, I definitely feel my back after I do RDLs, or at least it feels on the ropes. Like, whether that's creating growth or not, I don't know.
I don't know if it's slightly placebo as well because we're doing it on a pull day.
Yeah.
But when I finish our RDL set now, I feel it more in like my upper back.
Yeah.
Than I do upper back and my like erectors than I do hammies and glutes.
But I don't know if that's just because for both of us, like that is the limiting factor of the movement.
Yeah, that's what's sort. Yeah,
I almost feel like my hammies and glutes are kind of like sound. It's like they're working at like 5
You're just sort of losing tightness in your upper back, which then makes it feel like.
Yeah. So again, unless you're really good at it, maybe it's not that great at actually growing hammy.
Yeah.
It's definitely like if I was programming for a female and we were really trying to grow glutes,
I think it'd be good.
Then the cues that you'd give them, or a male that wants to grow the glutes, but
usually it's female.
Like generally as a female, it's kind of the other end of the spectrum where rather than like blokes always just put too much tin on and rag it about, we do that.
Yeah, I think. But again, I think it's just because blokes look at it as a whole posterior movement, whereas if you program it for a female, it's probably you are trying glutes and hamstrings.
Yeah, so
I think it's just got to go below leg extension.
Yeah,
and we had leg extension at B.
At B, yeah. It's harsh. I'll be honest. Giving it a C is harsh, I think, but
it is. But in the way we've already placed things, it's got to go there.
It probably is a very good movement. So just because it's at C doesn't mean don't do it.
Yeah,
if you want to grow your glutes and hammies,
definitely do it.
Yeah, but it's going to have to go at C because I think more people are going to be able to grow the quads doing a leg extension than growing the hammies and glutes doing a RDL just because it's hard. And
I agree.
Like, it's hard to actually do the movement properly.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you just chuck about a load of tin and do it for the fun of it.
Yeah, let's put it in D then. No, C.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with a seated hamstring curl. So this for me was what I was going to say I'd put as like the S tier.
Yeah.
Because the enjoyment's higher than anything else. And it absolutely batters my hamstrings.
Yeah.
Like 2 sets on there, if I can do them like really accurately.
Yeah.
My hamstrings are written off until we do legs again the following week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, again, if we go a bit technical, the hammy or some of the hammies cross the hip and knee.
Yeah. So
generally a seated leg curl is going to be better or produce more growth than a lying leg curl.
Yeah.
Because you're in this position, so your hamstrings are in a more stretched position and you're getting all of the heads stretched, as opposed to in a lying. You're not going to get that same lengthening, at least of all of them.
Yeah.
So it's definitely better than a lying. So if you ever can only do one.
I even think just from like stability and everything.
Yeah.
Like the actual tension you can get through your hamstrings on a seated just because of how much more stable you are compared to a lying.
Yeah, it's so easy to just pull you back into it.
Oh yeah. Every time I've done a lying hamstring curl and had it in for a while and you get strong, you start just feeling it all in your
That's probably the biggest exercise that like I could probably stack most lying hamstring curls, but at the same time if I actually kept my hips still, I'd be using like a quarter of the stack. It's like such a big drop off.
You got to find a good balance with a lying hamstring curl.
Because of that, I find it really hard to like progress each week because I mean it's easy to progress from a numbers perspective, but gradually you just start like pulling you back a little bit more, and you don't really know whether you're actually getting stronger or if it's just going downhill. So seated hammy curl, I think it's really good for the hammies. Probably equal to the leg extension from a optimal perspective.
What have we got? 3. Got A.
We've got A and D.
Oh, A. Let's go in A.
It's got to go A.
Yeah.
Okay. We're always left with D.
Yeah, I know. Kind of sauce.
Okay. A D tier leg exercise. I'm going to say the dumbbell goblet squats. I think that's a
Don't think
pile
I've
of
ever
ass.
done it.
I think it's not great.
Other than in like our first couple of years of training, I've done it occasionally.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, if you're trying to get after a quad pump, like, it works.
yeah, just do like 50 reps.
Yeah, but like, you got to understand, on a goblet squat, for what I could actually hold here,
Yeah.
like, even my hands would probably give out about 35 kilos.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
you could squat, I don't know what I'd squat at the minute, but like, it would be getting close to 3 plates.
Yeah.
So
if
you
you're just
literally
doing like a barbell
yeah.
back squat, you literally just might as well do that over a goblet squat.
Like, you're doing what, 6-7% of the load that you could do on a normal squat.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not going to grow your quads.
You know, I know a lot of girls do like these goblet squats, variations of them, and they do it. I don't want to have to say this, but they do it because it's easy.
It's tough, isn't it? Because you do get like the internal feedback of like, geez, I've got a sick quad pump. Like, I have never taken a set of goblet squats to failure.
No.
It'd be like, I can't even imagine how I'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, to actual leg failure.
Yeah, I don't think you could do it.
Most of the time, it's just my hands start hurting. I'm like, yeah.
And even because obviously you're holding the load in front of you, it's so hard to keep like a good posture and tightness like through your core and your back that you end up just like leaning more and more forward.
Yeah.
And you start getting awful lower back pumps. And
the only possible way I could see it working is having a massive heel elevation and getting knee like outrageously
knee
over
flexion,
toe so that it is hard enough, but then like just do it with a Smith machine and you'll be able to load it better anyway and you'll be more stable and it's just better. Like, there's so many better options that's why it's bad.
Squat. Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying to everyone to completely can the goblet squat. If you really like it, then feel free to do so, but I don't think it's going to create much growth.
No, you're going to get... There's a lot better options out there.
Yeah.
Hack squat, barbell squat, Smith squat.
Yeah. Even if you want to do a front squat on a Smith, like, it's basically the same but better.
Yeah. It's just the goblet squat with like a dumbbell is just very load limiting.
Yeah. Especially if you're reasonably strong.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a D.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can think of anything else that would be down there in the Ds.
I just think something like a walking lunge.
Like,
again, yes, I think it's probably better than a goblet squat. And it definitely is better than a goblet squat. But I feel like it's just one of them again where there's so many other things or factors that can fail before your legs.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember we used to do it in the thing? The main reason is because it's a pain in the ass to walk with. I mean, we're doing
35 kilo dumbbells in both hands.
Yeah, for like 30.
Yeah, it's like you even if you've got straps, you're still heavily focusing on holding the dumbbells.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially because you're moving with it, it is hard. And this is talking for pure muscle growth, right? So if you're high rocks bro, then like feel free to carry on.
Yeah.
But again, especially for women that are generally a lot stronger in the lower body than their upper body, I just don't think you'll be able to actually get a challenge.
No.
And hold on to the dumbbells.
And again, I think it's just people chasing that the sensation of because like you end up getting that many reps that yes, you've got a ridiculous pump.
Yeah.
But you need to find that balance between getting a good connection, but also getting
some load
through your lower body.
Yeah, I agree. It's not appalling, but it wouldn't be.
I think potentially maybe at like the end of your session when you're already pretty fatigued.
Yeah.
Potentially, because you might not need to use as much load and you can fail quicker.
Yeah.
But then still, I still think you're going to be that battered at the end of the leg session. You're not going to be able to actually fail accurately anyway.
The only thing I've seen people doing like any sort of lunge variation for is, I mean, obviously the whole imbalance thing, do some sort of lunge, but a lot of people do it for like, remember when everyone started doing the contralateral split squat?
That's where you hold the dumbbell in the opposite hand, isn't it? And then like...
Yeah, so you'll do right leg forward, dumbbell in left hand. Yeah. And I guess the idea is or at least the idea that a lot of people were preaching with it, is that the stability that you're gaining from it is going to carry over into your other movements.
I think that is still more beneficial than doing a lunge, definitely.
Yeah. Better than a walking lunge,
yeah. A walking lunge,
yeah. Oh.
That'll be fine.
Just turn it off then. Yeah, I agree. So, lunges, as a whole, they're tough to load, heavy, and therefore probably not going to get a whole lot of growth. But the right lunge can be a good option, like a Smith machine lunge.
Yeah.
Or you could do a single
anything
leg
where
leg
you're
press.
a little bit more static.
Yeah.
Much better option.
Affirmative, man.
Should we just have a chit chat? Because we're 20 minutes in.
Yeah, can do.
We'll do busy.
We'll do the arms thing another time if you want.
Another pod, yeah. Gives us another pod.
All about that. No reels coming from this pod. Yeah. So that is S to D tier leg exercises. There's a whole lot more to cover there, but I think that's the main ones. Yeah. So, you want to have a chat about something else?
Yeah. Update us on where you are at.
Yeah. So I basically was fat and now I'm skinny. So no, I've been through a whole lot of phases now as of you. Sort of going through a 2-3 year gaining phase, then I dieted down, and then I did another gaining phase for similar time to you, maybe 9 months.
Yeah, like
6 to 9 months, something like that. There's a photo of this going onto my IG actually soon, so
follow.
Yeah, follow harrylongworth.oc. So yeah, I did like a 6 to 9 month gaining phase, and then just recently pulled back and tried to get a little bit diced. Now I'm like 92 kilos, and I was talking about this on my recent tube. Like, I think anymore, yes, I'd get lean, and yes, it would be cool.
But it's probably going to be detrimental.
But is it actually worthwhile? I don't really know. Like, at what point isn't it worthwhile?
Yeah.
Like,
it's one of that you're not going to know unless you just did it. But you can make a pretty good estimate.
Yeah,
I guess
it's hard because I know that.
Like, what is 2 kilos extra going to benefit you for now?
Yeah.
Other than, okay, you might look a bit better on like an Instagram photo or something.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, unless it's competitive, dieting past a certain point for everyone
is detrimental.
Yeah. And it's purely to just see what you'd look like and test your minerals.
Yeah, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that, but you've got to assess, like.
Yeah, and I definitely recommend it at some point. But in my eyes, I'm like, okay, last time I dieted, I got fairly lean, but not lean, really. This time I dieted, I'm leaner, but still not absolutely peeled.
Yeah.
But I still know that, like, I want to gain more muscle.
Exactly, so it makes sense to probably start pushing up again.
Yeah, so like, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at now. But now I'm going to go into a fairly long off-season. I think I'll push up to like 105, which should be about 100 by summer, which I'm happy to go away for honey.
So you don't think you'll diet next summer?
It depends where I'm at. Like,
I think that's my sort of thoughts as well towards next summer.
Yeah, if I get a month away from the holiday or 6 weeks or whatever, I'm like, little mini cut wouldn't do me any harm here. Yeah. Then I'll probably go for it.
Yeah, I think that's something we both said is we need to, if we are going to diet, we just literally do it like 4 or 5 weeks.
Steam it.
Get in and out.
Yeah, because the last 2 diets I've done have probably strung them out like a bit too long because I've had like holidays in between, and I'm obviously not going to make my holiday worse by
dieting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll push up to about 100 by next summer. Whether I diet then or not will be up to the gods.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll basically just keep pushing up. I think last time I got to 105 and I still wasn't in a bad position. So I might get to like 108, 110.
It might be good to not diet next summer, carry on, or even if you just hold at a body weight that you like over summer.
Yeah.
And then summer ends, then carry on pushing up, but get to that 105 by like the dieting range for the summer of 2026.
Yeah.
Would be probably a pretty cool.
Because I'm 92 now, like 105 is potentially, 13 months away.
Yeah.
If I gain it a kilo a month.
Yeah, you don't want to be at 105 before next summer, I don't think. Unless you just start growing like an absolute weed.
Yeah, which realistically is that going to happen?
Probably not going to happen.
I'm not going to be 100 kilos and peeled, am I? So, yeah, 105, potentially to 110. I kind of, there's an aspect of me that wants to like push past the previous high of like 116, 117.
I don't think it's beneficial.
I was just really fat and like, it would be
not
purely to just kind of see how strong I could be.
Yeah.
And, like, it would be cool, but at the same time, like sometimes I look back at photos from there and I'm like, it's pretty big there. Like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But other times I look at it and I'm like, Jesus, I was
like
really, really fat.
That's how I feel about when I was like 85 kilo.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I'll ever get that heavy ever again.
No, it's really strange, isn't it? Especially because in the first few years of our training, it was always like trying to beat the previous best in terms of body weight.
Body weight, yeah. It was always off body weight.
Yeah. And will that mean that like I'm not hinging 5 plates? It might do, but I don't think that's worth like getting uber fat.
Yeah.
And like having my blood pressure.
I just think
was
how you
definitely
feel
too
at
high.
that in terms of like physically and mentally.
Yeah.
It's just not worth
Yeah.
It's not worth it. But you might get there.
Yeah, we'll see.
No point ruling it out. But that's why the pod's going to be good, because we're going to be able to keep everyone updated.
Yeah, give it like 12 months and I'll be taking this whole sofa.
Yeah, bro will literally be a block.
But yeah, that's my plan. Hopefully just keep growing my chest, because it's still lagging a little bit, but definitely caught up in the last off season.
We're going to cook.
Yeah, heavy cookage.
It's going to be a good one, I can tell.
200 key bench coming soon.
Soon come.
It's going to overtake my RDL. What about you, man?
Similar to you.
Yeah.
Competing on
Friday.
Day is it today? Yeah, Friday. Today's Tuesday.
You'll be competing when this pod comes out.
Yeah, the day this pod comes out, I'll be getting ready, man.
Yeah.
So what day is it today? Tuesday. Flying tomorrow. Couple of days chilling, killing. Probably not pussy filling.
Not grilling either.
No, not grilling. Compete and then enjoy.
Just reminded me of that clip from
We're
chilling and we're grilling, and then Guy leans back.
I hate everyone.
I hate everyone.
Well, no, I'll have a little bit of downtime after the show. I want to try and enjoy food, but realistically, it's not going to happen for me, unfortunately. My body is unable to digest anything that's not eggs or some sort of lean protein and veg. Yeah. So I will try and enjoy myself, but I do want to be sensible anyway.
Yeah.
So Saturday is probably going to be a day of trying to have full enjoyment. Probably by Saturday night, I'll be like in quite a lot of pain. So Sunday will be reined back in. And then my approach at the minute, my mindset is I'm going to, for the time I'm in Hungary, Budapest, is when I can, just prep meals that I know are going to digest pretty well.
Yeah.
And have them just at the house. And then if we go out for food, but not try and like really overface myself, because at the minute my eyes are so much bigger than my stomach.
Yeah.
Like I want to eat, but I physically can't eat the food. Like even when I have the feeling of like stomach's full, I still want to eat, even though I'm not hungry. So I'm going to try and be sensible with it, and then I'll get back on Wednesday next week.
Yeah.
And then from there, it'll just be back on a meal plan.
Back on the grind, man.
A few occasions to enjoy in the first couple of weeks, and then just back to pushing body weight up, which is I'm actually so excited for now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Like we're both going to be going to the gym because like at the minute, most days one of us is like, feel a bit whack. So it'll be nice to get those sessions again where we're going in and we're like buzzing to train.
You know, my goal actually is this off season as well is to try and sort out my like niggles. I feel like anytime I'm trying to pull or push, literally
some
anything,
sort of
I'm like,
issue.
oh, that kind of hurts.
Every session we do, there's some sort of exercise or a movement that we do, and one of us is like, oh, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not that bad. Like, there's not really anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes my shoulder plays up when I'm in off season.
Yeah.
But
Going to the hungry thing, I honestly think your biggest, the biggest difficulty won't be like going out for a meal to eat because you're not going to order like 3 mains.
no, it'll be snacking.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, there's a pastry shop there.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just get a pastry.
Let me get 5. Like
I honestly am sort of happy that my digestion isn't good at the minute.
Yeah.
Because if it was and I could eat whatever and it didn't affect my digestion, I would probably come back like, I reckon I'd be coming back like 10 kilos off. I'm not even shitting you, because I can just eat anything in a minute. Like, anything excites me. It'd be a case where I walk past a shop and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to get myself a couple of chocolate bars or something, or something like that. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise, I think.
Is there anything that you really want when you're in Hungary post-show?
Pint.
Apart from a Corona, yeah.
It's just the usual stuff. Like, I want sweet things.
Yeah.
And they do these like chimney cakes, which are like,
I've seen them. It's like a
kind
donut
of like
thing, isn't
a
it?
donut-y bread thing made into like a chimney.
Yeah.
So it's like tall. And you can get them like just the classical. They're just like coated in sugar, which is the traditional. But you can also get them filled. So they come with like ice cream in them and Nutella. So I want one of them. But other than that, there's nothing like that is in Hungary that I'm like, oh, I really want to have that. And to be fair, I think a lot of their traditional food is, a lot of it's like rice and meat based.
Yeah.
Like, it's heavily meat based there. So
it would be quite nice to scran like a proper steak and chips.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like stuff like that I'll be okay with when they're actually good food choices. It's all the stuff like the sweets and which is what I want. So I just need to be careful with it.
We'll take a screenshot of Leo's face now and then compare it to Leo's face next Tuesday.
And I'm like a balloon.
See what the difference is. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not ruined.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the update. And then I'll just carry on pushing up. Similar thing with summer. I think most likely I probably will pull back. It just nice, breaks the gaining phase up a little bit. And if it's only 4 or 5 weeks, like, I shouldn't be like out of shape by the time that comes anyway. So potentially I might just carry on.
Do you know what's so weird though? Like, when we were in the Caribbean last year, you're like, I'm sure in your head as well, I was like, oh, you're in pretty good nick. But now if I look back now, I'll be like, Jesus.
Yeah,
it's always weird. Like the comparison, isn't it? That's the
it's straight. Because I remember going on that holiday. To be fair, I didn't think I was in like. I didn't think people would look at me and think, oh, he looks good.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I don't look bad. But then like I had like quite a few people say stuff.
Yeah.
So you do start thinking like, you're definitely always a lot better than aesthetically than what you think you are. It's just because you know what you can be.
Yeah, I think that's that's the nice thing about having like X amount of years behind you of training. Like, unless you push your body weight really far,
you're always going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you've got a certain level of muscle already,
you're
going to be fine.
Like, your spectrum of good is bigger.
Yeah.
Whereas when we first started training, if I got really heavy, like, I'd just look fat.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that buffer room.
Yeah. Which is another exciting point, actually. Potential Caribbean trip.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. End of Jan /
February.
Something. Yeah, we'll see.
And if we do that, we will actually do a pod there as well.
Yeah.
That'll be funny.
Pod on the ship.
That's we're burnt to a crisp. Well, you're burnt to a crisp. Tanning goat. We'll have to do one when you're literally steeped.
The funniest part about the last 2 trips is you walk onto the ship and you see, like, because people obviously have been on there for a week.
Yeah, it's like a roll on, roll off.
So you're walking on thinking, Jesus, look at all these people, like, burnt and red. And then it's
what have they been doing?
Literally me the next week. A transition.
hopefully we can get that trip in. We'll just have to see.
Coming to the pod soon.
That'll be good. It'll be very good.
So yeah, that was episode 11 of the Lifted Lifestyle Podcast.
Jeez, 11 weeks.
Cooking, man. Subscribe. Links below for some stuff. There might be actually below, if I can get it out early enough, creating a lifestyle blueprint, which is essentially going through everything we've gone over on the pod, condensed into a nice little sheet of useful-ness.
So you can make gains and enjoy your life.
So if you want it, it might be below. Maybe not.
If not, it'll definitely be the next pod.
Yeah.
So,
cool. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.
Like, subscribe, share some stories, guys. See you later.
Bye.
See you on the other side.
Bye. Oh yeah, the other side, man.
Steez.